jurisdiction. What are British police doing out there, other than a family liaison role? They shouldn't be out there at all.
Do you think
And like I mentioned, many times, officers on Operation GRANGE, if an officer's been on there from its inception, well, all you've done is DOS and had free holidays, chasing up these bizarre sightings, which have amounted to nothing, going abroad at the taxpayer's expense, having almost a permanent residency out in a Algarve holiday resort, and nothing's going to come of it. And so why is it being funded? We mentioned earlier on, I gave the average spending and average hours spent on a missing person in the UK, and it's in the very low thousands, and the hours are in the tens, maybe 20s of hours spent investigating this. Why have there been innumerable policing hours spent and budgets going into the dozens of millions? It's a nonsense. It's a nonsense. It's the Met Police, and why is the Met Police dealing with it? Surely this is sorry, Leicestershire Police, not Nottinghamshire. Surely this is Leicestershire's inquiry. And it actually it isn't even Leicestershire's inquiry. It's the police of the judicial police in Portugal. It's their jurisdiction. It's their inquiry, and they concluded early on, that there's nothing to see, and that the McCann should be held culpable. They clearly stated it, and I totally concur with that. I think that's the truth.
Well, just for anybody who's not heard your take on the sniffer dogs, right? You've got a lot. We know about the sniffer dogs. People have heard about it, but this was a serious sniffer dog, right? I mean, this was the top sniffer dog, and to get a hit like that, I mean, that's where you're grounded in your opinion, because you cannot, as an ex-policeman, get rid of that data because it's very telling, John. And is there any way that could have been an animal or any other kind of dead scent?
No, because the dogs are trained. They're usually trained on pigs, because pigs give off an almost identical scent when riding as human beings. There's every single organ in a pig will work in a human being. Even the blood of a pig will work in a human being. Not
that's true. Yeah.
As the evolutionists, the Darwinists amongst us, the reviewers will say, our DNA compatibility with monkeys just isn't there. It's not there, but with pigs, it definitely is there. But there is a place in America called, I think, the Body Farm, where people that die can donate their body to this place where they use it for scientific purposes.
Yeah.
One of it is to actually rot the body and train dogs on it. So there are one or two dogs, cadaver dogs, that are used by as a forensic tool by the police that are actually trained on dead humans. Sorry. Now, yeah. Martin Grimes, the dog handler, his dog was seen as the best in the business. So, I think they're a fantastic tool. I mean, of course, there are faults in there, but that's for the the defence and the prosecution to argue. But Kate McCann went out of her way to deliberately attack the dog, the cadaver dog and its handler for their practices. Well, she only did that because that was a very, very strong lead. And it picked up a scent in the car and everything. So, it was what you got to do, like I said before. If you can't attack the evidence because it's too strong, you attack the source of the evidence. And this is what people like Michael Mansfield do. I mean, that Michael Mansfield, he sort of came forward and said he was helping survivors of child abuse, like in the Shirley Oates inquiry and all that. But let's not forget, Michael Mansfield also, he represented people like Michael Barrymore and a few others that are actually despicable individuals. So these barristers will sell their soul for a quick buck. But he specialised in just attacking the sources of information. So that could be a young detective who's quite naive in giving evidence and the judicial process of the Crown Court. And he just goes at them in a dogmatic, studious approach. and undermines their confidence, and then tries to discredit them that way. So it's bullying. That's what it is, bullying. Um, and I think the McCanns are bullies, and how they've gone about litigiously attacking people, threatening to sue them and bully them. Uh, it's just the whole thing is just absolute nonsense. It happened all that time ago. Why are they even still bothering? In my opinion, the girl's long since gone, and there's just no point. And they will never, ever find her body. They won't. It's gone. It's crushed up. It's, you know, it's rotted. It ain't there anymore. And all this new evidence, seriously, like what? Like what? You know. And if that is the case, then why has he not been lifted by the judicial police in Portugal and charged and remanded in custody for it? That's the only really telling thing, not the Sun newspaper, the fact that he's actually been charged and remanded in custody and is awaiting trial.
Do you know, it's funny you say that, because there is a headline here, John, about possible fears. Madeleine McCann, prime suspect, could flee to country without extradition in weeks if released from prison. German police said Christian B was likely to be responsible for the talks. See, it doesn't make any sense. How can you think that somebody is likely to be responsible, have evidence on something that makes you believe that she's no longer there, and not have a case?
Well, you know, the fact that he's a PDF file and he likes young blonde girls. Well, there must be millions of PDF files that like young blonde girls, so it doesn't make him in any way unique at all. You know, so I really don't think that's sort of building a bad character on the guy, because he's already that. We know what he is. He's a convicted PDF file. But he might not just like blonde girls. He might like any little girls and maybe little boys. It makes him no different to most ex-offenders of that ilk. And like I said before, they're not heterosexual, they're not homosexual, they're not bisexual, they're what they call trisexual. They will actually drill anything if they get the opportunity, because that's the nature of the beast of these people.
Yeah.
They're predatory dogs. That's what they are. So he's no different to the rest of them.
No, 100%. I did see those sketches, Z70. It's sadly a topic YouTube doesn't like us touching on, sadly. Now, John, it was the anniversary of Madeleine's disappearance, and then a week later, this documentary comes out.
Yeah, all this well-timed, isn't it?
All this new evidence, but let's not forget about the re-injection of cash. Okay, so Operation Grange gets another whack of money, but apparently a year ago, German police had evidence on a hard drive that's convinced them that Maddie's no longer here. Does that mean the British police looked at it and went, nah, mate, that's non-conclusive? And if so, are you right, John? Is this merely plucking on the heartstrings to get us to click and buy papers?
Well, and, you know, and does Yvette Cooper know the McCanns outside of the professional sphere of things? Has she got, I mean, someone should put the question to her. Did she know the McCanns prior to Madeleine going missing? That it might be that she did. It'd be interesting if she did, because I've heard that she did. Her and her balls. That's what I've heard. I mean, that's just a rumor. There's no substance behind it. But if they did, where did they know them from? You know, yeah. Is there any evidence or any substance between the rumors that the McCanns were sort of high society swingers? Have they ever refuted it? As you know, but there are people, and I know one who's willing to make the statement saying that they were. He's approached me and I've told him to tell the police. He's told the police and they've told him to go away. So what can you do? What can you do? But they'll happily entertain some other nonsense. But I just think it's a massive gravy train for them. And like I said, any officer who's served, most of their service on this unit, they've just taken the mickey out of the British taxpayer. They have. That's not policing. Go out and might be hard lines from where, the fact that I had to do proper police work, whereas they're on an inquiry which is going to involve a lot of foreign travel, and the fact is no one will be arrested, and you will not solve it. And it's
how about this then, John? Right, and I think this ties in with Ronnie's question, right? So what if we see a bunch more headlines about shocking discoveries on hard drives, evidence that's leading police forces to believe something, and then all of a sudden we have an Epstein situation and Christian B's no longer here to put on trial? Do you think that's going to be a closed case for a lot of the people looking for closure in the UK on Maddie? Do you think that's going to be the nail in the metaphorical coffin for this story? Because he reeks of Fall Guy.
Well, he may well be.